All right, we're just waiting for Lupagus. He's coming. He's coming. Not fantastic. We're going to get into this. Lupagus is just coming on. Just coming on. Studs, turds. We were talking everything. A lot of turds to be talked about. Yep. Mike Peterson, you're right. You were absolutely right. Fire one bar. No! Fire Lupagus. Venomous. Venomous. Easy, Tiger. Easy, Tiger. Walter Cody, yeah, I can get on board with that. Ah. A lot of turds. Tim Voss, love it. Zimmer, shit. Well, Zimmer wasn't playing offensive line. I wish he was. Yeah, you know, Ethan, I don't think you're too far off there. Every time Breland got smoked, he liked to sit and just pound the ground. Joe, I'd love to say the referees were part of this, but all right, Lupagus, we're already live. I got started before you.
I thought we were live like 2 hours ago.
We're here. We're here. Got a lot of action, a lot of upset fan base, which they should be. They should be. I got to pull up the stats here, even though it's not going to make me feel any better. But I at least got to have these things in front of me.
Yeah, I should pull up some stats as well. So obviously, I mean, what, are we hopping right into it, or what are we waiting for a few more guys to get on?
We're gonna do the standard. This is the last call. Win or lose, we're here, and we're gonna be talking about the damn game, even though it was disgusting, and we lose week 1 to the Cincinnati Bengals, who had 4 wins last year. We're still gonna talk about it. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna talk about studs. We're gonna talk about turds. We're gonna talk about everything. But we're gonna start off. Let's start with offense. I mean, we got to start somewhere.
We'll start with the start. I mean, this team had 4 penalties in the first 6 to 7 plays. It's unheard of. You don't see that. Was it 3 false starts? CJ Ham had 2 himself. How bizarre. I mean, is this something we maybe should have seen, for these teams? And I wonder if it happened for other teams, a year ago, playing with no sound noise to coming back. And all of a sudden having full stadiums be loud and raucous.
No,
but I mean, it's definitely a legitimate point. Nope. I do think it's something that maybe we should have thought about prior to this, because clearly it affected the Vikings.
Every team is going to go through the same thing. The Bengals didn't have
that's what I want to see. If there's other teams that has many false starts. That's all I'm saying.
Bengals
didn't an excuse or anything. They were at home. They were at home. I'm saying for other away teams.
No, I'm not giving an excuse like that.
The crowd noise is loud. I'm just curious if other teams had the same problem.
I'm not
unheard of. You don't
Nobody
see
else lost to the Bengals
twice. You don't see that many penalties in that short of time frame.
No, we lost to the Bengals week 1. Nobody else did, and it was brutal. I don't care what the noise is. I don't care what that is. You don't lose to the Bengals week 1, and everybody pissing and moaning as far as the season shot. This is disgusting. This is gross. There's some validity to it, because that's gross. You do not start the season 0-1 against the damn Bengals, especially with a very disgusting loss. It was gross. Everything was gross, and we're going to be talking about all of it.
Well, yeah. I mean, you go to offense. We couldn't move the ball against the Bengals defensive line. We couldn't run the ball. The run blocking was horrible all day long. At least the old line was shit last year. At least they could run block. This year, the run blocking was horseshit. There was just nowhere for Delvin Cook to go.
I got to say this, I'm mildly tempted to put this link out to have somebody hop on and give a couple thoughts. So stay tuned. But yeah, I mean, Jesus, the offensive line, we knew it was going to be not great. I don't think anybody expected it to be this bad, especially when it comes to the penalties. Rashad Hill, please, somebody enlighten me. I don't know if somebody knows how many penalties he had. Ezra Cleveland had a horrible game. Pretty much everybody had a horrible game.
Garrett Bradbury wasn't great. Brian O'Neill was okay. The old line was horseshit. This old line is way worse than we ever expected. They look like garbage. They are garbage. They're fucking horrible. They're horrible.
All right, hold on. Everybody watching, including Lupicus, we need to take a deep breath. This is week 1. What year was it we lost the Niners? And we made quite the push, and the Niners are not very good that year. So let's try to spin this a little bit.
Who's Ethan Griffith?
Ethan Griffith? We're going to see him in a minute. I'll tell you that.
Not understood.
All right, let's. So I would love to say where we should start, but it was just. Here's the issues. They were not ready. They were not ready. It was a complete shit show. You have CJ Ham out there. First series, did he have 2 false starts?
Yeah, in the first series.
When your fullback has 2 false starts, fullback, how often do you see even a running back have a false start? Gross. My biggest thing, and we're going to go over the whole offense. Clint Kubiak, not a very good start. I know he's not playing offensive line. I know he's not the one out there getting the penalties, but overall, these guys were not ready. And that play calling, all preseason, I was thinking, you know what? They're just playing vanilla. This isn't going to be what it is in the preseason or in the regular season. It is what it was in the preseason. They didn't do anything. How many passes did he have over 15 yards?
Yeah, he saw very few shots down the field. It was a little head scratching with the plays that were called. Nothing really.
Well, hold on, we got breaking news.
What's that?
Zimmer is a ding dong. Thank you. Continue.
It makes you wonder: is he a ding dong? I mean, I don't know how you go into Cincinnati. This team was supposed to be stacked on defense. All the moves you made, offensively, you're the 3rd offensively in the NFL last year. You come back and you can't move the ball against the Cincinnati Bengals defense. Who can you name 3 players on that defense right now?
Well, and here's the shitty part is we couldn't do anything. We couldn't stop the Bengals defense. They got Trey Hendrickson. That's great. They got a couple of good safeties. That's great. But if you can't stop the Bengals defense, especially when they were all over Kirk Cousins, they were all over our offensive line. Can you imagine next week? What Chandler Jones have today?
He had 5 sacks today. He had 5
Can you imagine what a very good defense is going to do?
No shot.
Lupicus, what do you think? Should we open it up a little bit to have people join us if I give the link?
Who is this guy?
I'm saying anybody.
Why would you want people to join us?
I'm doing it. I'm putting it out there. I don't know if you're going to come on, but I'm putting it out there. All right, let's keep talking about this offensively. Just gross. Overall, Justin Jefferson had a bad game. Dalvin Cook, thankfully for Dalvin Cook, I know he had the fumble, which we'll probably talk about, but if it wasn't for him, we would have 7 yards.
Well, yeah, he made something or nothing a couple times, but yeah, Justin Jefferson, and this is something I want to kind of make a point of, even with the O-line. They kept so many guys out in the preseason. I was a little concerned, are these guys going to gel? Are they going to be able to come out and be ready to roll? Clearly they weren't, and Jefferson was one guy who definitely showed some rust. Some of these balls he didn't catch, yeah, they weren't perfectly thrown passes, but last year he caught those balls 98% of the time. This year they're dropping the ground. He's not making the grabs. Cousins, again, the timing with those two were a little bit off. He was ahead. He was behind a couple times. So I do think there's something to be said about holding so many guys out in the preseason and seeing effect of it in week 1.
Yeah, but I mean, again, there's a lot of teams that don't play their players in preseason. These guys just were not ready to go, and it was gross. We're doing it. We're bringing Ethan Griffith in. I see him. I see you down there, Ethan. You get 10 seconds to give your spiel as far as what you think of this game, and I can't wait to see it. Are you guys ready? I know Lupicus isn't ready, but I'm ready. Let's do this. There he is, Ethan Griffith.
What's up, boys?
What do you got? What do you got?
I'm ready now.
Go. First off, Dalvin was down. Having 14 penalties and 100 yards of penalty yards in the first half is an absolute joke and an indictment on our coach. And One Bar and Lupicus are the best Vikings show on YouTube. There I said it.
Let him
Someone
in
had
again.
to do it.
Ethan
And
Griffith.
Brashad Breeland pulled Xavier Rhodes. Every time he got hurt, he limped off.
Yeah, what
Bull
the hell?
crap.
When he got burnt, he limped off.
He did.
Burnt off. There we go, boys. Hey, SKOL Vikes, thank you, boys. Love you.
Love you, man.
Awesome. I love this guy too. I want to have cake with him.
All right, SSM is next, but let's keep talking. Let's so overall, I mean, I'm trying to get the team stats. Do you have the team stats up in front of us?
I can in a second here. Yeah, so we had
I see Cody Sprague too. He's drinking something. I don't know if it's a pop or what, but he's like, whoa, Busch Light, that a baby.
the hell? I got an ad here. All right, I guess I don't have the team stats. I was trying.
All right, you get the team stats. We're bringing SSM on. SSM, our boy SSM.
Hey everyone.
Where is he?
What's your thoughts, man?
there
What's
he
your
is.
thoughts?
All right, I'm gonna shed some light on this. I'm gonna try to look at the bright side here. The D line looked fresh, and that's I'm gonna try to look on a little bit of the bright side here. There's not a lot of bright side, but I'm gonna try to look at it. Daniil, he had his sack. There's Michael Pierce looked amazing, I thought so.
Two sacks, right? 2 sacks.
Yeah, yep, 2 sacks. And also, I'll just rep my merch here.
SSM, our
thanks,
boy.
Lamar, I appreciate it.
Hey, what a shirt! What a shirt!
Baby. SSM giving us some positive thinking. Good to see that face, man.
Yep, good to see you guys.
What a head of hair! So jealous. Let's we're still sticking to offense. I don't get on defense yet, but he mentioned looking at some bright spots. Were there any bright spots on the offensive side of the football?
Yes, there was.
What was it?
We got Cody, we got Patrick, we got Scoldger Soup waiting. So hold tight. We're coming. Bright spots. Defensive line. Michael Pierce. Joe Mixon.
Offensive bright spots.
Offensive bright spots. Holy shit.
You got to look at Kirk Cousins.
Adam Thielen, I guess. Even Adam Thielen had a drop. There is none.
Well, no, I think you look at what Cousins was off on a few throws, but that guy was under some serious duress all day long. I think he still ended up having a pretty decent stat line.
LS Gregor's got one. KJ Osborne was a bright spot. Tough catch. Was it in overtime or the end of the fourth? I don't remember.
Yeah, when he did that big little.
He caught the one from Justin Jefferson, barely caught it, but KJ Osborne, every time he was targeted, he did pull it in. So I'll give him that.
Cousins threw for 351 yards and 2 touchdowns. So that was a bit of a bright spot. You barely saw Madison. They didn't do much for rotation. Amir Abdullah got more time than I thought we'd see him, which is never really a great sign. But yeah, other than that, Tyler Conklin, 4 for 41. That was your tight end 1. Herndon was out there, didn't have a catch. So Adam Thielen had 2 touchdowns, which is always great. But
King Frosty's in the house. Let's go to Cody. Cody, you ready? Let's do it.
All right, so for the first time in my
life,
Vikings life, I'm not ashamed of the kicker.
Say it again. I cut you off.
I said for the first time in my Vikings watching life, I'm not ashamed of the kicker.
Yeah, there you go. There's a positive. Woo!
Came through in the clutch. He hit both those 53
and
yarders.
That punter. What about that punter?
Yeah, like 63 in the air.
Oh yeah.
Unbelievable.
Cody Sprague bringing some positive energy. I love it. I love it.
I wasn't going to drink today, but
I love it. I love it, man. Thanks for hopping on. All right, King Frosty's on deck.
Well, okay. Are we done with the offensive side of football? I really thought the Vikings have a much easier time with this Bengals defense. Delvin Cook was having a hard time running the ball every single time. Even the receivers were never really truly wide open. They were always had a guy kind of clinging to him. Jefferson and Thielen did beat Eli Apple pretty bad a couple times, but either this Bengals defense is a lot better than we thought. Our offense is definitely way behind where it was a year ago.
And King Frosty, don't be leaving us. But yeah, it's very disheartening to see what we couldn't do against a defense that I don't think is going to be overly fantastic. Our big thing in our pre-games and our episodes leading up to it was they got some good safeties, but their cornerbacks are kind of not fantastic. Eli Apple, how can you not take advantage of that? How could you not stretch the field? I don't care if it's a completion or not. How can you not just chuck that thing down the field a couple times in the first half to get this defense thinking that we might actually do that? They didn't do it at all. There was no creativity to it. Clint Kubiak is already just reeking of his old man, of just a boring, generic offense. I don't care if Justin Jefferson threw the ball in the first quarter ever. Bullshit. Pull your head out of your ass. When you got an offensive line that can't block shit, You got to get creative, and there was not any creativity at all.
Well,
Is it King Frosty time?
sure, bring on King Frosty. I think I beat him in punch-out.
King Frosty in the house.
God, I thought he was gonna be naked. I think he has a shirt on.
Yeah, they
Oh my
need to
God,
throw on
look at that
Buttman.
He's a butt man.
Buttman needs to go in.
Hell yeah, put Buttman in.
Yeah, I'll be the quarterback, man. I guarantee I'll do a lot better than Kirk Cousins would. Guarantee.
Ooh-wee.
And I got some weight on me too, so they ain't tackling me.
All right.
I love you guys though, man. You guys are cool as hell. I watch you guys all the time.
Awesome, man. Appreciate that, Buttman.
Buttman, give us are you giving us a positive or a negative? What do you got?
I mean, there's not a lot of positive, but I mean, we'll hopefully go on to next week and let's see what they got against a real defense.
I like it. Buttman, can't wait for next week, baby.
Buttman's revenge. Let's see it.
Buttman's revenge. That's next week 2's subtitle. The
All
Buttman.
right. Is it ready to go to defense? Patrick Harms keeps hopping on and hopping off. He's toying with our emotions. Anyone else wants to join us? I'm putting the link in the comments, but let's keep going.
Yeah, there was a couple times before we go defense. I did think Kirk Cousins could have thrown the ball away, held on a little bit too long, took a sack when maybe he didn't have to. But again, when you're under that much pressure, it's hard to judge somebody when you're not in his shoes.
I think I'm going to be in the minority here. Kirk Cousins was 36-49, 351 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. And I'm not a Kirk Cousins apologist by any means at this point. I realize, but like you said, he for what he had, the time he had, the pocket that was not there, you can't really be that upset about Kirk Cousins at all. There was times, yes, it was late in the game. It was, what was it, 3rd and 11. He throws a dump off to Adam Thielen for about 6 yards. That annoyed the living shit out of me. But you can't put this on Kirk Cousins. You can't. There's no way you can do that.
This loss is not on Kirk Cousins at all. 100% not on Kirk Cousins. So don't even go there. I don't want to see a single comment about that at all.
All right, we got Patrick in the house. You ready?
Patrick Harms? I wonder what he looks like.
Patrick, my man.
Hi,
Patrick,
what's
up, guys?
Hey, there's Patrick Harms.
What do you got for us, Patrick?
I'm
You
as
working?
good looking as you thought I was.
Hell yeah, even better.
So I'm going to try to be positive about this quick. First game of the season, yes, it's a loss, but it's only the first game. So trying to be positive. Kirk did awesome, I think. Dalvin, meh. But Cincinnati came to play. They were ready to play. Minnesota just wasn't. So
Absolutely. Bengals came out. They looked like their shit didn't stink.
am I what?
Are you at work?
Yeah,
Damn, that sucks, man.
it's all right. I was able to watch it on my phone.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
He's at work, and he still has a positive spin.
Still getting paid and watching the game.
Yeah.
I like it.
But
All
all
right.
right. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you hopping on, man.
Yep.
All right. See ya, P. Harms.
P. Harms in the house. And yes, he nailed it. The Bengals came out, and they looked like they won 4 games last year. They didn't look like they won 4 games last year. They looked like Jamar Chase, he had 3 out of 5 drops in the preseason. He comes out, and all of a sudden he's just ripping shit up.
You
The
look like
Vikings
Super Bowl
did not have
champion.
the swagger.
No, it was not good.
D. Garcia and Levi, we see you guys. You're coming on.
I hope it's Levi Mickelson.
I don't think so. Ethan Griffin wants some more.
He's got something else to say.
I love it. So offensively, I don't know. Justin Jefferson. Have
Okay,
a good
but
week
here's
of practice.
You think 24 points would be more than enough against the Bengals? I would expect the Vikings to put up at least 31.
Oh, we're going to talk
one
about
of
the
the
defense.
But yeah, you would have thought 24 would have been plenty. Again, they had the chance to win the game late in overtime. Delvin Cook with the fumble, which apparently I was listening to the post game. Ben Lieber, he thought he was clearly down. I don't know. I never saw a good look when we were looking at it, but the fact that it was ruled a fumble on the field and they upheld it was not surprising to me, because to me that he never got a good look to where it was. So
yeah, when they called that down on the field, that was a nail in our coffin. Let's go to D. Garcia, 1206 in the house with that beautiful beard. Look at that thing.
my pubes.
Hey, what's up, guys? No, yeah, like you said, 24 points should have been enough, but our DBs just laid an egg, and we invested so much money on this defense, and you thought we were going to come out and just put it to them. They seemed 5 yards off on every play, every catch. everything. And it's just baffling to me how they just weren't ready. They're veterans, Breland, Peterson. I mean, these guys should have been ready, and they just weren't.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. These guys are not these young bucks we just signed off. I mean, these are Patrick Peterson, Xavier Woods, Breland. They should have been ready. They weren't. Nailed it.
Yeah, that's a great segue into our next segment because we're going to talk with the defense here. And you mentioned to me, Bashaud Breeland is the guy who really I thought was embarrassing. He got burnt on the one by Jamar Chase. And then he fakes an injury or whatever the hell it was. He's got his head down. And we saw it again later where he got burnt and his head's down in the turf again. Is this what Bashaud Breeland does? He gets burnt.
Hold on. I want D Garcia. I want your turd for the game right now. Who's your turd of the game?
Turd of the game is probably Breland, because without that long Jamar Chase touchdown, that could have been a game changer. And it was right, towards the end of the half. So then it was just like really deflating. And then they go in and just score another touchdown at the beginning of the half. And, that Breland one was just bad. And you see the catch, and I'm just like, there's like three different people that could have stood in between them. And that's how far off he is. And Jamar Chase is a young dude. You're not going to catch him. You got to be right up on the ball. You got to at least contest something, but they just weren't contesting shit.
Yep.
There it is. Breland. All right. Thanks for hopping on, man.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks, man. I love his
curtain.
curtain.
Right, so we're officially on the defensive side of the ball, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's start with this. Cam Dantzler was not even active today.
Yeah, we need to talk about that because that's huge to me. A guy who was your starter last year played very well at stretches. There was a 3-game stretch last season where he was top 5 corners in the NFL as far as rankings goes, whether you not want to believe in the PFF rankings or whatever. And now he's not even active. And you see how bad Breland was today. How bad is Cam Dantzler right now? I mean, my God, he must be horrible.
Levi, Ethan, Mato Midai, we see you guys. But yeah, Cam Dantzler. I mean, Chris Boyd. Did we see Chris Boyd today?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't see much.
It wasn't great. It wasn't great. Yeah, I don't know what it was. The D-line looked good early. Nick Vigil, I thought, played very well, especially early in the game. Even overall, I would still call Nick Vigil one of the positives from the defensive side of the football. But
Ellis Gregor is nailing it here.
Yeah,
our front four, along with some pretty damn good linebackers, even with Barr out, to give up 100 yards to a rusher like Joe Mixon. Let's not forget the Bengals offensive line. They're both pretty damn near on par with the Vikings. They're probably a little bit better than the Vikings, but not much. Their offensive line's dog shit. The fact that Mixon is out there just being cocky as hell, arrogant, just ripping shit up, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, it was super embarrassing. There's no way in hell Joe Mixon should have got 30 yards this game. You got Michael Pierce, Delvin Tomlinson, Daniel Hunter, whatever they were rotating at the other side. I don't know. I saw Wanham out there. I saw Weatherly out there. Everson Griffin was out there once or twice. Like, you made a good point, though. I never did. Did Sheldon Richardson play today? I don't know. I didn't see him much. But there should not have been. There's no way he should have gone for 100 yards. And even Samaje Perine was getting plays where he was getting 8-9 yards a carry. And that should not happen against this D-line. You put all this money into it. It's unacceptable.
I'm pretty sure Tim Voss would average about 6 yards a carry if he was on the Bengals. Let's go to Levi. He's been hanging out for quite a while. And he's got a beautiful – he's in his car now. I saw his son. Beautiful clouds earlier. Levi, what's happening? What do you got for us?
Here from Oregon. Been a Viking fan my whole life, but honestly, their coaching has to adjust. They have to adjust to the modern NFL. I mean, did you guys see the Bucs in the Dallas game? Yeah. Dallas, I think, ran the ball like 8 times against the Buccaneers because they just knew they wouldn't be able to do it. And I mean, Minnesota has all the weapons they need on this roster to be able to do something. And you're talking defense, Breland. He scared me in that preseason game when Hill just completely ran past him. And I was worried from then on. And I don't know. He had that good stop on 4th down when Cincinnati went for it. But other than that, their offensive line, too, is just awful. And I was watching the game, and they Zimmer was blaming Cousins on not getting rid of the ball fast enough. But holy crap, the penalties, man. Just insane.
It was embarrassing. Levi, who's your turd?
It was.
Who's your turd?
Oh, man, I don't know. Coaching.
Coach.
That's not a bad turn.
mean, Breland,
It was depressing.
yeah, it was. And like you guys said, we didn't see Dantzler. I'd seen Boyd a little bit. He did a couple good things, and then Breland went back in. Seemed like he played the run good, but he can't cover my 7-year-old kid, so I don't know.
Oh my God.
All right, Levi, thanks for hopping on.
Well
Thank
done,
you guys.
Levi.
Love watching you.
I think Levi brings up a great point. Let's hop into that. Let's talk about the coaching, because you look at this roster. I don't think if you want to pick 10 people who said who's got the better roster, Minnesota Vikings or Cincinnati Bengals, I would bet that at least 8 of those 10 picked the Minnesota Vikings every single time.
I'm saying 9 out of 10.
Yeah, 9 out of 10. So then what does it come down to? It does maybe come down to coaching. And Zach Taylor's a young guy where he's making these adjustments. He's from the new school. You got old school against Mike Zimmer, and who ends up winning this game? It's the new school guy. So maybe he's got a point. Maybe coaching is a problem.
Ethan Griffith, Matomidi, you're coming on quick, but let's talk about that 4th down where Zach Taylor, that asshole of the Bengals, went for it, and that could have been his demise. I kept telling Lupagus during the game that I can't think of anything better than somebody going for it on 4th down right on their own 30 and then losing the game because of that. They handed it to us. They gave it to us on a silver platter, which ended up getting in the overtime, but it didn't take us over the finish line. But I'm way more upset right now than I should be. I'm angry. I'm gonna have a tough time sleeping tonight.
No, and that's kind of, you saw, used to see Mike
Kelly
McCarthy.
Monster, thank you, sir.
Mike McCarthy used to do that shit all the time, go for it on 4th down in weird situations, and it always come back and bite him in the ass. And yeah, why would you not punt the football there? Your defense is playing great. Vikings can barely move the ball against your defense, and you're going to go for it on 4th and 1. Just kind of a pathetic, cocky call that it did backfire. It let the Vikings back in this game, because if they do that, I think they do punt that ball. Vikings go 3-0, whatever, or maybe get a 1st down, go out again. The game's over. It's not anywhere near as close as it would have been. So horrible call by Zach Taylor there, and that's maybe where
awesome.
Well, that's maybe where the new school came back and bite him in the ass, because that new school mentality. You look at all the analytics guys; that's what they want to do. You say they go for it there, and old school would never do that. So I think that's the case where maybe the old school won over the new school.
All right, let's get Ethan back in here. He's chomping at the bit. Look at him; he's hungry. Ethan, what do you got for us,
Let's
man?
go.
I was hoping he was going to be
Let's go,
naked
boys.
this time.
Yeah, shirt off
come
next
on,
time.
Lup. Come on, Lup. Hey, I gotta ask: are you wearing like a Ben Gideon jersey
No,
right now?
I was
Turn
42.
around, let's see it. Turn around.
I was 42 in high school, so this is a freaking Lupagus jersey.
Lupagus jersey, yes, custom, baby.
That's
yeah.
fire. That's fire.
Yeah,
But okay, first off, I know we all think it. Kirk Cousins needs work on that pocket awareness. He ran into 2 of the sacks. We all know the O-line sucks. No one's defending them. He ran into 2 of the sacks. But let's keep it raised and sunshine out here. You guys see Jordan Berry, the Aussie, man. That dude has a hammer on his leg. Then you got Greg Joseph. He goes, what's that, 53 yards? More like 3 yards, because I just wailed that baby. So,
yeah. And that's after Jesse Bates probably saying the worst things he's ever heard in his life in his ear, right?
Yeah, just whispering.
I would pay $1 million to know what Jesse Bates said to him.
To hear what he said. Thank God Brian O'Neill jumped in there finally. But we need to have a video of you two playing the Jesse Bates role and you guys talking smack to whoever the kicker is. We got to hear what you two would say.
You don't want to hear that. We'll be in jail. Ethan Griffith.
Thank you,
monetize
boys.
that video.
I am a cake eater, by the way. I am a cake eater. I'm from Eden Prairie. So
are you? Oh my God! I thought that was Edina was the cake eaters.
They are. Thank you. That's what I always thought. But all right. Thanks, boys. Love you. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Love you too.
All right, Matomidi, let's get him in here.
I want to see what Matomidi looks like.
There he is.
Oh, there he is.
Man, the myth, the legend, Matomidi.
Yeah. So, is it time to sign Russell Okung? I think the Rashad Hill experiment is over.
I will pitch in if we can sign him.
At this point, Matomidi, if you're willing to chip in, I think everybody watching right now would chip in to bring Russell Okung home.
We should start a fund right now to bring Russell Okung here.
GoFundMe. Start a GoFundMe page. Matomidi, who's your turd of the game?
It probably has to be Rashad Hill and the refs, because that was very down. I mean, I could see from the television he was down.
Yeah, his butt was clearly on the ground. They called it on the field, though. That's what screwed us.
Yeah, I know.
But if it was reversed, it would have been over. It would have been overturned.
It would have. Well, maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, who's your stud of the game? Who's your stud?
Probably has to be the kicker, surprisingly.
Yeah, I like it.
Yes. Woo! Manu Mirai. Well done, sir. Well done. Thanks for joining.
Yep.
Oh, Matamidai. What a guy. What a guy. Yeah, he's right. I mean, I wonder where Christian Darrisaw is in his recovery, because hopefully we can call Mr. Miyagi from beyond the grave, do his little freaking whatever, get him healed up, because we need him. Rashad Hill is complete turd. He's complete garbage. He cannot be on an NFL field. And if Christian Darrisaw is not ready, I'm with Matamida. I think we go ahead and we all start collecting money. We put the buckets out there and we bring Russell Okung in. We need anybody.
Julian Marker has breaking news.
I
might be Monoquify.
Why would you post that?
All right. Let's take a very serious, somber moment right now. Okay? Let's get serious here. Okay? Are you ready?
If you change the comment, I will.
Old McDonald nailed it. Mediocre efforts all around. This is pathetic. The Vikings lost to the Bengals. I don't give a shit if they're away. I don't care if they lost to the Bengals. They're 0-1. Vikings fans should be very terrified of what this season might bring. I don't care about this defense, of how everything we brought in. You cannot lose to the Bengals week 1, and it looked disgusting. It wasn't even, the fact that we were so excited about penalties late in the game, the fact that we were getting first downs based off of penalties, and Greg Joseph, nobody would have ever thought he was going to make a 53-yarder to bring this into overtime. We had gifts just to get to overtime. This is pathetic. This is scary. Well, I'm terrified of what this season might bring.
Let's just take a step back. Everybody we were confident as hell going into this game. I predicted a 37-14 game or 34-17, whatever it was.
Said 31-1.
Whatever. But we also said in those things that we've seen it go the other way, and you mentioned it when you're scrolling with the enemy with the Bengals guy. You expect to win this game, but you know that the Vikings, they do what they do, and they came ahead and they did what we've seen them do many times over and over again. Not play up, not play to the level we think the roster should be bringing. And I don't know if you can say at this point in the season that they're playing down the Bengals, because I don't know what the Bengals are. Maybe they're going to end up being a 11-6 team or a 10-7 team, a good team. You don't know right now. It's week 1. But the fact that you come out there, you have this loaded roster, you spend all this money on, you use these draft picks to fill in these holes, and you come out and you lay a turd, you lay an egg. It's disheartening, it's depressing, and it's tough. It is damn tough to overcome. And honestly, I didn't want to get into this yet, but looking forward the rest of the season, I'm not optimistic one bit. And this was the season where I actually thought the Vikings could make a very, very deep run. Yes, they have 16 more games. This game could just be the extra throw-it game. Maybe you figure it out, you turn it on, you get hot, whatever. There's still hope, but to me, this was a game you really had to win to build momentum to move forward. You stepped in your dicks. You got a huge problem with the O-line, and I don't know if that is something you can overcome during the course of a season or not. So, Mike Peterson, we are not as good as we thought we were. The Vikings aren't as good as I thought they were. And it's, to me, the offensive line is much worse than I thought it was. I thought it'd be a problem. I thought there'd be some issues, but I didn't see a problem in the run game. I thought to be able to move the ball pretty easily. Garrett Bradbury's always been a good run blocker. Today, he just looked like shit all around. No real surprise at Garrett Bradbury. We're always going to have purple turds. That's the way it is.
King Frosty in the house. We see you, Ray. We see you, Ray.
Is it Ray Menestrom?
Let's bring him in. Let's do this. Ray, make him pay. Look at that beautiful shirt.
Yeah, I know Hawaii shirts.
I can see his many leather-bound books in a hall that smells like rich mahogany.
What do you got, Ray?
Well, I'm extremely frustrated with this game because, I have 2 degrees, and most of them dealing with data and facts. So when I was covering in this season, I was looking at like Kirk Cousins facts and stuff, and I was like, okay, he's not as bad as what everyone likes to claim he's being. And when I was watching the game, I was amazed at the fact that we had 17 offensive penalties in the first half. Like, you don't win games. You don't. I mean, I don't even. That's just undisciplined. And then Kirk does something I've never really seen him do before. He actually bleeds us back, gets us to tie the vehicle, then gets us to get in charge, win the game at the end, and then we fumble the ball. I'm like, that's the typical Vikings loss, right? It's just like, yay, we have hope, and then, but it just seemed like, to me, the way I looked at it, it seemed like he was the only one who wanted to win. I watched when he threw that touchdown pass to Thielen. He was all excited. But you watched the other players when they scored touchdowns and everything. They looked flat. They looked like, I'm here. It was like he was the only player who was like, hey guys, let's win a game. And it was mind-boggling. It was like, has Zimmer lost the team in week 1 already? You know what I mean? So
it's a valid question. I mean, Cousins was the one fired up there. Everybody looked like they were just bored out of their minds out there. And the fact that nobody's out there fired up is very concerning.
Yeah.
Who's your turd?
The whole offensive line. The whole offensive line. They all get it.
That's diarrhea.
You have I also actually the whole offensive line and Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. Because like the offensive line, if you just give Kirk Cousins a little time to throw the damn ball, he'll throw the ball. And then all game, these receivers weren't getting separation. Like, you two receivers are supposed to be like in the top 10 in the NFL, right? And you can't bail your quarterback out. Like, oh yeah, one of the announcers like he was a little off to the right. If you're a receiver, you get your hands on the ball, catch the ball. That's your job. Bail your quarterback out. It's that simple. He's getting you the ball. It might not be perfect, but bail him out. And then they couldn't do that. They couldn't do it at all. So, yeah, they're my turds. I think the stud of the game is I want to say Kirk Cousins with the kicker. And again, I'm not a Kirk stan. I have questioned his contract, and I wish he would do things better. But this game, to me, was like he was the only one trying to win the game. Even when I was watching on the sideline, he looked visibly frustrated with the rest of his team. Like, you guys aren't doing anything. And then the kicker, we just brought in and nailed a 53-yard kick, at the end of the fourth quarter. Even after that, we saw that Bengals player Josh after the called a timeout, and he was trying to get in his head. And he went out and nailed it again. I was like, okay, yeah, that's good. But yeah, those are my studs and my turds.
Yeah. All right, Ray, we love the passion. We love it.
Hell yeah!
Thanks, guys.
I love the shirt too, by the way. Well, I didn't think they were as flat as they were a year ago, when they came out against the Packers at home. I mean, no crowd. I thought that team definitely had less injury or less energy than we saw today. But yeah, he's right though. There wasn't the celebrations. There wasn't that combined group team. Like, where was all that shit going on that we saw last year or the year before? So yeah, I guess there's a little bit of validity to what the man in the fancy shirt said.
Fancy shirt is an understatement. I mean, defensively, I don't know what to say. I mean, we saw a comment earlier where the Anthony Barr not being there is probably bigger than we're really commenting on, which is true. Anthony Barr does bring a different element to this defense out there. Nick Vigil, I will say, we haven't talked about him enough. He came out firing. He had a great game. Great game. When you're looking at a third linebacker, a free agent signing that nobody is really expecting a ton out of, was that his sack? If not, it was pretty damn close, but he had some good tackles, a good game. Woods had a good game. Harrison Smith had a good game, but we just weren't doing enough on defense. So there was some bright spots on defense, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You can't get excited about how much points they gave up to the Bengals.
Well, yeah, I mean, Nick Vigil was a bright spot. He played very, very well. Michael Pierce was a bright spot. Even the D-line overall, I was never upset with their push or the pressure they got up front. Hunter was very, very quiet until finally he had a sack, which I think, remember when that happened, I said, where's the deal Hunter been? And all of a sudden then he got a sack. You were there. You saw me call it.
You did. He called it.
But overall, we're Eric Kendricks. I mean, I didn't really feel Eric Kendricks made a ton of plays today. But Harrison Smith, I thought played great. That one play where he destroyed, he ate 2 blocks and he made the sack. That's what Harrison Smith does. So there was definitely plenty of good on the defensive side of the football. The bad to me was Breland, again, just getting smoked and then faking an injury every time it happened. I hope this isn't what we're going to see. Yeah, I know. And we have no shot against the Cardinals, but I want to get into that later. So really overall, I was expecting a much better performance from the defense from top to bottom, especially from a score standpoint, yardage standpoint. I thought it was going to be 10, 17 points with, the 17 coming from garbage time. So overall, very disappointing. I was disappointed in this defense today.
Well, I've been preaching this the whole time, and I could be wrong, but I do think it's going to take a couple of weeks. I don't think this defense is also going to be playing beautiful together. I think they got the pieces where maybe over time they can. Ideally, it's sooner than later. How was Patrick Peterson today? I'd say Patrick Peterson was pretty good. He had a very, very good start. Maybe the ending wasn't overly fantastic. Madomina, we see you, and you are coming on very soon. I can't wait to see it. Will Taylor is also in the house, which I'm very excited about. Julian Marker and Madomina are going at it, by the way, in the comments, which is fantastic.
Hey, one thing, Ellis Gregor, I'm not a big Spencer Rattler fan. I'm not super impressed by him. So, no, we're not going to suck for Spencer Rattler, who I think is a bleh quarterback prospect.
You give Ellis Gregor the respect he needs and the respect
he drank warm milk on Wednesday night.
All right, Madomina, our man back in the house. What's up, buddy? You're muted. I cannot hear you. I'm so sad.
Tucking?
Yeah, Madomina, we're going to have you hop back on. We can't hear you, buddy. Will Taylor, you're coming on. Will the Thrill, what's up, buddy?
Nothing much. I am a Bengals fan, but I thought you guys did play good.
Thank you.
How excited are you for that 1-0 start?
Good, but you guys capitalized on our mistakes of going for it for 4th and 1, I think, on the 30, and you guys didn't kick a field goal, and you guys came back and showed the Bengals' weaknesses, but it sadly wasn't enough. I think it was not a fumble, but it just wasn't enough to overturn. So, yeah.
Thank
you. As a Bengals fan, who is your stud of the game?
Our defensive line.
Yeah.
Our D-line.
It's true. It's right. It's right.
Last year.
Will the Thrill think?
Yeah.
Keep going.
No, I said last year our defense just terrible. And our defensive line was just no pressure on the QB, and another way to look at it, but both of our teams have terrible O-line, so.
You're right. All right. Even though he's an enemy, Will the Thrill, thanks for hopping on, buddy.
It's pretty sad we're getting the sympathy comments, sympathy positive.
Yeah, it's not great. Fan. It's not great. I'm glad he came on, but Cardinals is gonna be a tough. I hate to say it, but I hate the fact that we're 0-1.
I'm looking forward to
dreading
who's in week 3 because I'm expecting us to be 0-2 heading into that game.
Seahawks. Madomina,
right?
We see you. You ready?
Can you talk this time?
He's ready. Madomina, what's up, buddy?
So I just want to say, I'm a little worried about the defense, but I think they'll rebound. I have a little bit more faith that they'll get it together, but the offensive line, I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah,
true.
Bryson Hill would be bad, but a lot of the players are looking bad right now, so I don't know what's going on there.
Love it,
yeah,
Madomina. You're a guy,
and that's the worry. You got this horseshit O-line led by Rashad Hill, and you go face Chandler Jones, who had 5 sacks today. It's a horrifying matchup on paper, and I can't see any way it doesn't translate to real life. He's gonna have 10 sacks by week 3.
Yeah, Darrisaw, whether he is 20%, 30%, I don't care what percent he is, as long as he's over 3%, we need to get his ass on the field because Rashad Hill is clearly a backup for a reason. I feel a little bit bad for Rashad Hill. one of the big surprises I have for this game is how bad Ezra Cleveland played. I had very high expectations. Maybe I put that on just basically how bad Rashad Hill was, and Ezra Cleveland was trying to make up for that. I don't know. Maybe I'm making excuses.
No.
I don't want to make excuses, but we got to think big picture here. Ezra Cleveland played like dog shit. Rashad Hill played like dog shit. Garrett Bradbury played like dog shit. Oli Udo,
Not
was
great.
he the best offensive lineman today?
No, Brian Neal still was. And he wasn't great.
You're right.
Why is Julian fighting all of our viewers?
Julian's just having a good time, having some brews.
Is this better, Bob Sweet? Is this better? I know it's not Voodoo Ranger. Is that better?
Well, we're gonna get to our studs and turds very, very soon. We're gonna polish this thing off. I mean, I can't think of any worse way to start this season. Am I absolutely running for the door, terrified that the Vikings are gonna go 0-17? No. Is this a horrible start? Worst case scenario? Absolutely. A couple bright spots. I mean, let's swing this thing around. Let's look at some more bright spots. Greg Joseph, hell yeah, he's a bright spot. Our punter, hell yeah, he's a bright spot. The fact that we're saying that our special teams are our bright spots, is that an issue? Yeah, it's very concerning.
Well, it's true though. I mean,
it is true. We don't have any other
kicker
ones.
and the punter, but the punt return guy didn't fumble any punts, didn't muff any punts. He caught everything that he tried to catch. Also very impressive. So yes, the special teams were a strength today. But I gotta be honest, yeah, I'm horrified. We lost this game, a game we should have won. Now you got a very tough stretch. You got Arizona coming up. You got Seattle coming to town. And the Vikings could be in the same situation they were a year ago. They could be 0-3 with week 4 looming. And a team I thought was gonna maybe be a Super Bowl contender. I don't know what to expect anymore. I don't know. No idea.
I still don't think this is the team we're going to see. I don't think this is the Vikings. Zimmer, I would be terrified for these guys in the locker room. Not only at halftime, whatever he said at halftime clearly didn't work, but I would be very, very scared to be a Viking player. Lupagus, I know you're reading these comments. I'm not putting some of these on there because it's getting weird. But SSM Creations is ready, and he is smoking. What do you got for us, SSM?
All right, so we're dipping. We're going back into the more negative side, and that
no, we don't need that.
We're not a fan of that. And Lupagus, you just said 0-3. What's wrong with you, first of all? And
what gives me any confidence that we go in the coming games?
But one thing I'm looking at is especially going to that Seattle game. That's like homecoming. That's going to be homecoming for the Vikings, and that game's going to be huge.
0-2 Vikings.
We got that home field. But another thing, so this game's a big hit to morale, both fans and the players themselves. But I'm going to my more delusional side, I guess.
I like
and
it.
I'm thinking,
I
I thought there were a decent amount of bright spots that can give everybody hope this season. This season isn't lost. It's 1 week. We've got 17 more weeks of football.
He's right.
And I mean, we got more because we're making the playoffs. So
there we go.
But we got more. And we're going back into that negative side. And I just got to mention, no, we got to think positively here because sure, why not?
I like it. SSM. You're a guy.
I love that his big point was because why not?
Because why not? Because why not? We got to get into our studs and turds pretty soon here.
Why not? Is because we had 14 called offensive penalties.
I don't know where you just went. Your camera just went off.
Oh, what happened? Hang on. This is
let's see in the comments. Let's see some studs and turds of the game while Lupagus tries to upgrade his internet over the next 5 minutes. I mean, we've heard some very common themes. There's Lupagus. He's back. We've heard some common themes of the studs and turds, but let's hear it. Let's hear some of your guys's.
Well, can we? I was going to take a pause before we did that. How much of this performance from this team today do you think was just a lack of chemistry from not playing in the preseason? Because
don't give that a pass at all.
What?
They're practicing every damn day.
I know,
they're out there every damn day.
It makes
It's
you
nothing.
wonder.
It's an excuse.
You can see it with the receivers. You can see it on defense. These guys haven't played together.
Excuse.
There's something about team
every
chemistry
practice.
when the games are going, when the refs are out there, when things actually count. And that was definitely lacking today, in my opinion.
Nah, I think that's an excuse.
It's not an excuse. I think it's definitely something to talk about. I want to talk about it. I'm not saying that's the reason or giving them a pass. No way I'm going to give them a pass.
I mean, I just don't see it. I don't see it.
You
I want
finishing
to.
it? What's happening?
Studs, Thielen, Osborne, kickers. Osborne, we have not given her enough love to. I agree. D.D. Westbrook, well done on catching those punts. I told Lupagus during the game, I was not scared one bit every time they punted him the ball. I knew he was going to catch it. He caught it. Loved it. Where was Smith Morset? Was he even active today? What the hell?
I thought he had one return, didn't he?
Did he really? I thought that was D.D. Westbrook getting that thing. Lewis Glazer with the tiptoe. Osborne. Anybody else wants to hop on and let us know?
Caesar Augustus wants to very bad.
Well, I just threw out the link.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? Should I get one more beer?
Probably. You probably should. He's got to go over to the freaking Talmart to buy his beer. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you lose to the fucking Bengals. It's pretty damn embarrassing. And I'm not going to lie. Late in the game, I was like, okay, worst case, we're going to tie because we're going to run the clock. We're going to kick a field goal. We make it, we win. We lose, miss it, we tie. Delvin Cook fumbles, and then we lose the ball game. You just think with this defense, Mike Zimmer, the D-line they put together, going against, basically a rookie quarterback because he played, 3/4 of the season last year before he got hurt. You think you'd be all right? You think you'd be able to win this game on the road? And clearly you can't. So it's just very disappointing. Top to bottom.
Well, nobody else is ready to hop on. Should we do our studs and turds or what?
Yeah. I mean, you put up there one more time, see if we get anybody else. But
there it is. Dud and coverage, good and run D. Anyone else wants to hop on? There's the link. Worst case scenario, it's going to be a long week. It's going to be a long, scary week.
Well, and here's the question that I think we need to talk about. Let's say the Vikings do lose to the Cardinals, you lose to the Seahawks, and you get the Browns next. No easy game there. If this team goes 0-4, does Mike Zimmer make it to week 5?
I think Mike Zimmer, regardless of what happens this year, will finish the season. There's really no point. I mean, if we had somebody waiting in the wings on our coaching staff to take this over, we do not have that. Clint Kubiak is not going to be our next coach. We don't have that guy that is ready to take it. So I don't care how bad the season goes, Zimmer will make it through the season.
Oh, if he does, things are going to be very ugly and very gross. And
I'm not going down that road yet. It ain't going to happen.
He called it a must-win game a couple videos ago.
I'm going to let a couple weeks go by before I really get my panties in a bunch. A little bit of, I guess we'll take it. What's the score of the Packers game right now? 17-3. Packers are losing. Hey, we'll take anything we can get.
And the Lions lost, so the NFC North is clearly the worst division of football.
All right, I'm going to throw the link out there one more time.
We lost to the Bengals.
We lost to the Bengals. 4 wins last year. I'm throwing a link out there one more time just in case somebody wants to come on and just give their stud and turd of the game. That's it. Stud and turd of the game. If not, Lupagus and I will just chuck that thing out and wrap this depressing week up. But we'd love to see some studs and turds of the game. Where was Dalvin Tomlinson?
Yeah, where was he?
Valid. Where was Sheldon Richardson?
I don't know if he played.
Everson Griffin, we got to give him a little bit of love. He was right there. He was on the cusp. He was on the cusp, but he never got to it.
He was there. Sheldon Richardson had 1 tackle. Half a tackle.
Julian Marker. Oh, we got Maria on here. She's coming on. Now we're talking.
Yeah, Maria.
She looks excited. Maria, who is your stud and turd of the game?
Guys, my stud is Barry. It's nice to see a punter actually get us
Yes.
field position once in a while. And my turd is got to be Breland. I don't care if you mess up on some coverages, but to play injured and be punching the field, you get paid
Pussy
millions.
behind you.
That's my cat.
Oh, God.
So that's it.
All right,
All
we
right.
love it, Maria. Thanks for hopping on.
Thank you,
You're
Maria.
very,
Well done.
very valid.
Feed that cat.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's a great point. I wonder if Breland's gonna do this every time he gets burned. He's just gonna pretend he's hurt, lay on the ground, flop around. It's embarrassing.
Well, Breland, he's a good corner. I mean,
Is he
might not be great. Might not be horrible, but he's good. But he has bounced around from a lot of teams over the years. It seems like teams just kind of get sick of him. We'll see.
Sick of his theatrics.
Theatrics. I'm putting it out there last time. Studs and turds. All you got to do is give us your stud and your turd of the game. I was hoping to see Julian Marker coming on.
He's a pussy. He's scared.
No, he's not. Julian Marker
Talking a lot of
man's
smack.
man. I love that guy.
A lot of things to say in the comments, but he's not coming on.
Well, let's do this. Lupagus, stud and turd of the game. I'm handing it to you. I'm giving you the baton.
The baton? Stud of the game for me, this is kind of tough because, we played so well from top to bottom. But, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Michael Pierce. For this D-line.
Stud or turd? I'm confused.
I'm going stud.
Okay.
7 tackles overall, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss. This D-line was supposed to be our strength this year, and he was the one guy who came up and he rose to the occasion, and he proved it today. So I'm going to give it to Michael Pierce.
That's your stud?
He's my stud.
Well, my stud is, Michael Pierce is definitely valid. I love that stud. I can't give it to anybody else but Greg Joseph. I'm sorry. 3 for 3.
You were impressed by his meat stick.
What?
You could see his meat stick from 60 yards out.
You could. To come out there for a player that nobody's really sold on and just drill that 53-yarder to go into overtime. Remember, this is the Vikings team that has no respect or no confidence in any kickers. And he comes out there and says, screw you. I am here and I'm a Viking. I'm going to make this kick. And he did it. You were absolutely my stud. And it's not even close. I don't care if Michael Pierce had 9 sacks. Greg Joseph would have been my stud.
Michael Pierce has 9 sacks. We win this game. And we're not already thinking about the draft.
Anybody else going to hop on? I mean, I'd love to see a stud and turd. But all right, who's your turd?
Right, I think you need to put Ethan Griffiths coming up.
Nah, what? I don't see it. Oh, we'll get Julian on here.
I don't know. I think he would have been on by now.
I'm just saying this year. Who's your stud? Or who's your turd? I mean,
my turd today, man.
Turds in the comments. Turds in the comments.
I mean, Rashad Hill is just too easy, so I'm gonna go a little bit. I'm assuming that you're gonna go Rashad Hill, so I'm gonna go Basad Breland and getting up that huge play to Jamar Chase, and like Maria said, faking like you're hurt. And then you do it again later in the game. I mean, come on, if you make a bad play, you make a bad play. Man up, sack up, act like a adult. Don't sit there and pretend you're hurt. Basad Breland, lost a lot of respect for you today. And I also owe 1 bar a case of beer because you started over Cam Dantzler.
He does. And Ethan Griffith, I see you in the comments. I see you waiting. We're going to let you on. You better play nice.
I feel like it's almost like a Royal Rumble.
What do you got, Griffith?
I'm not going to call my turd of the game the guy who's in the comments calling I've won queef in or
this is positive. This is positive.
Queefagus. I'm not going to say he's the turd.
He said queefagus?
Oh, he said it all. He said it all. Everybody up in here's been getting queefed. You get queefed, you get queefed. But
been there.
That's disgusting. Turd of the game, I'm gonna have to go Delvin Tomlinson because he didn't exist. We got ran right up the middle several times.
I like it.
No.
Stud of the game, I'm gonna keep it away from the special teams just because we all know that was good. I'm gonna have to go with Adam Thielen. I mean, he was the offense. JJ dropped a ball, hit him right in the hands, but hey, you can always rely on 19. Let's go Detroit Lakes, baby.
No, like
right.
it.
There it is. Ethan
They're not
Griffith.
cake eaters.
Triple header.
See
Ethan
you,
Griffith
boys.
3 times. 3 times. We did it. The hat trick,
That's a
baby.
three-peat, baby. That's a three-peat.
Next week. All right, my turd of the game. I'm sorry, I just said dud. Guess what's on your mind?
Nothing. I was reading the comments and burping. Mine completely blank right now.
Yeah, my turd of the game is I'd like to go Rashad Hill, like you said, but I'm not going to because that's boring. I'm going Clint Kubiak. All these penalties, I mean, give me a break. Penalties, piss poor play calling, gross, vanilla offense, just like we saw when Jake Browning was out there in preseason. Come on, man. Pull something out of your ass. This is the NFL. And he does not look like he's ready. So against the Cardinals next week, against a much better defense, he better bring his A game. He is definitely my turd of the game.
Well, if I'm going to do a bonus turd, then if no one's going to call, I'm going to call Rashad Hill because I think he
that's
had
just easy
1,000 penalty yards and false starts, holds. It wasn't pretty. It was gross. Rashad Hill, my God, I wasn't excited about you starting, but you surpassed my worst fears. But
Darrisaw might be out there next week. Just
I don't care.
Just like doing the crab walk.
No, his left leg and his cock. That's what's going to be keeping him upright. His right leg may be gone. I don't care. But you balance with your ball sack and your left leg, whatever is your good leg, and you make do because you'll be better than Rashad Hill.
All right. Well, it was very graphic and very disgusting. We've seen a lot of turds of Zimmer, but every week, right after the game, we're going to be here live. We're going to be bringing you guys on, seeing what you guys think. This is just what we think, but fantastic. I'm going to say the stud of the post game was Mr. Griffith. I think he did it. Manomidai, well done. Everybody hopping on. A+. This was fun. We're going to do this every damn week. And be sure to subscribe. We're almost at 4,000 for that jersey. We're so damn close. And we'll be. Oh, hold on. We got a late one.
What we got?
We got it. Louis, he's in the house. Let's bring him on.
Yeah, maybe we got Louis.
And we'll be. Oh, hold on. We got a late one. What we got? We got it. Louis, he's in the house. Let's bring him on. Yeah, we got Louis. You were way behind.
Totally agree.
We got a late one. What we got?
Totally agree that Kubiak is a dud because that no huddle offense, which was like, zero Kubiak, right? That's just Kirk Cousins running the way he wants to do it, was so good. And it's like, why don't the Vikings just like go in the no huddle like when things are like stalled more often, like second quarter, third quarter. It doesn't have to be the end of the game. Like just go into the no huddle for a couple like possessions, and like get things going because Kubiak was sucking.
Mm-hmm.
Game.
Great point.
Going to the no huddle.
Louis. Great point.
Like get things going because
and that's something I think it's been a problem with the Mike Zimmer regime, and we saw it last year. Failed to make adjustments throughout the game. If Drew Samia can't block, you take him out, you try somebody else, and they don't do that kind of stuff. And if your normal huddle's not working, try no huddle, try something different, mix it up, see what works, figure it out during the game. Don't wait until the end. And this Mike Zimmer, it just doesn't happen, and it's frustrating. It is so goddamn frustrating.
Zimmer is old school. We're gonna have to deal with that. But Levi has something to say. Levi, what do you got for us, buddy?
Levi again.
Well, I agree with him a little bit on the no huddle. I mean, last year even, actually even 2 years ago with that comeback, I think it was 2 years ago against Denver.
Yeah.
When anyway, when he was playing Denver, they were down 24 points, was it, to 0 at halftime? I think Kirk Cousins actually doesn't know huddle better than he goes out there and kind of he kind of telegraphs what he's doing a little bit. Besides his play faking ability when he's handing the ball off, he does that really well. But I don't know if it's their blocking scheme necessarily on their O-line. That was just terrible. And I'm seeing a lot of people beat up on Kirk Cousins in the comment section. He ain't my number one, choice quarterback at all. But, we could do worse. I see people, you're missing Case Keenum and all this other stuff. Well, I don't,
No.
I don't see anybody available there for Minnesota that we could have got this year. And, when Kirk Cousins' time is up, I'm kind of excited to see what Kellen Mond can do. But I don't know where that's going to go either. That could be a bust or not a bust. But as far as Kirk Cousins, the game was not on him. And I think somebody else said that too. I mean, he looked very frustrated on the sideline. And I do think that there's a lot of drama that's not being said and brought out to the open in Minnesota with, him not getting vaccinated and stuff like that. Zimmer's called him out several times on that. And that's just something that doesn't need to be worried about as far as a football stance. But I do think that we'll go out there next week against Arizona. And I hope that Zimmer runs a 3-5 against them because Kyler Murray, I mean, he tore it up today. He really did. And, I mean, I don't know. Also, I give a shout out to Tyler Conklin. He caught every pass his way.
Baby.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you guys again. Still watching you. I appreciate it. And, like I said, I do think we'll get better this year, but it's going to be tough. And for God's sakes, I hope we beat Seattle this year. Living in Oregon, it's tough, man. I'm surrounded by Seahawks everywhere. It's crazy.
Sasquatch.
All right, Levi, thanks for hopping on, man.
Thanks, Levi. Yeah.
LS Gregor, thank you, sir. We hope to see your butt on here next week.
Like his butt
for
cheeks?
sure. What?
Like his butt cheeks?
Nah, not his butt cheeks. All right, that's it, man. We did it. We wrapped up everything. This is a horrible start to the season. It's erased already. We're moving on to the Cardinals.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest. I'm gonna be negative Nancy this week because I don't have great expectations for our chances against the Cardinals, seeing what the Vikings product was this week.
Well, that's right. Everybody, make sure to hop on this week. We got a Scoling with the Enemy. Absolutely. We're talking Cardinals. We're talking everything. So hop on. We're almost at 4,000. We're giving that jersey away damn soon.
Yeah, maybe the Bengals are the this year's Patriots of the early 2000s. I don't know.
They suck.
But I do know this. I just learned it that not only do mosquitoes bite you and suck your blood, they also piss on you before they fly off. Rascals.